It's only 2-2, another last minute goal. What's your view?
Obviously not happy, but to be fair to them, the last 20 minutes, 25 minutes, they deserved it. For some reason we went 2-0 up and thought the job was done, I think, and we started doing things that we shouldn't be doing. I've just been up front with the lads. I've got experienced lads out there, and they've got to take a look at themselves. I take full responsibility, not a problem with that, but I'm throwing a bit back at them today because at 2-0 we set up. The first half, to be honest, we should have come in again out of sight, but we haven't. But we started the second half really well, was pressing well, nicking the ball well, got a great second goal, and then we thought it was all over then, and we started doing things we shouldn't be doing, and obviously we've come unstuck.
Yeah, there was a break in play where I think it was a Kennington player that went down, and you could, before that, Lilywhites 2-0 up, tails up, and it was just sort of like a switch off. In how do you, get the boys to motivate themselves moving forward with, 2 games like that now where we've conceded in the last minute? How's your how are you going to motivate the boys moving forward with that?
Well, listen, first, you've got to tell them how it is, and they've got to accept that, and then we go again Thursday. I shouldn't have to motivate them, and we know why we're here. We know why we've got to get. We're here to get out of this football league and try and have a best cup run as possible. But with the players I've got there, we shouldn't be like just falling apart like we did the second half and chasing things, and decision making was wrong, and seeing games out. I said before the game, our game management's got to be a lot better. But I could have had a bit of a moan up at half time, but I stayed positive. But we should have really come in a few goals up at half time, and this is the problem. When I actually strip things back and whatever, if we're not killing teams off, teams are always going to be in the game, and that is a classic example today. They got their first goal, it's given them a massive lift, and then there's on the ascendancy. We've had a few chances, obviously, in between their second goal, and we've not took them, and they've cashed in with a last-minute equaliser, and fair play to them.
Yeah, 2-0 was always a precarious scoreline, but until that moment, Lilywhites were banging in. The keeper has actually made some really good saves to keep them in it. Yeah. Nathan Wood on fire again, and then they had the early goal from the goal from Lilywhites in the first half, and it just seemed like Lilywhites were going to kick on. But how impressed were you with that first phase of play before we went 2-0? How impressed were you with the lads keep going and keep getting shots off?
Well, no, we said before the game, I said about being positive and being direct. So at least they took that on board. But unfortunately, for half hour of a game of football, or 20 minutes of a game of football in the second half, I think they decided to do whatever they wanted to do, and that's what happens in football. Like I said, there's no blame culture. We win together, we lose together. But at the same time, I'm putting a little bit on them today because I've got an experienced side out there, and we shouldn't be throwing up a 2-goal lead away. And again, we've had enough chances to kill the game off as well. But I'm not disrespecting Kennington. They've had a right go at us the last 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and they've cashed in. So fair play to them. But from my perspective, we had enough chances to kill the game off.
We move on. FA Cup at the weekend. A team above us as well in Littlehampton, and it's on a Sunday, so very weird to be getting a Saturday off in football. But does your mentality change towards that, or is it a free shot at a team above?
Nah, not at all. We've got enough players in here to more than play above, so I'm not saying we're going there as the underdogs or whatever. I always put pressure on ourselves anyway. So I know a few of their players. Obviously we know all about them, but I wanted to get this out of the way first before I concentrated on them. But we're being Thursday night, we'll work on some stuff we've seen about them, and we've just got to make sure we bounce back. At the moment, I've had a go at the boys, and rightly so. We need to get back collectively and just crack on with it, and hopefully go and get a good FA Cup result Saturday to build on next week. But this is what the season's going to be like. At the moment it's a bit raw because again it's a last minute goal and it feels like a loss like Saturday. There's going to be highs and lows, but at the same time you've got to sometimes address things, whether it's early in the season or whatever. And at the moment we've got to collectively take responsibility for not taking chances and our game management. So it's going to be a long old season, mate, full of frustrations and ups and downs, and the last 2 games have unfortunately been the latter. So hopefully we can turn the corner on Sunday.
Thank you very much, Gaffer. We'll see you on Sunday.
Cheers, Brownie.
Thank you for that. I know it's